Yeah. Hey guys, and welcome to the world of Eyes of Pearl. It's my world, and I'm so happy you're here. So today we have an entrepreneur, and from what I can remember, he's also a model. So I'm interested in hearing a little bit more about that. But um, he's also a dad of a beautiful princess, which he has with him right now. So please, without further ado, welcome, Mr. Flash. How are you doing, Flash?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everybody doing out there? I'm uh I'm just doing my dad thing right now in this Atlanta traffic. Uh I was not supposed to be in a car for this, but God got a way to shake things up. But we
Yes,
but we still gonna make it work. Still gonna make it work.
yeah, it's all about the parenthood. So
Yes,
tell us about um your business. You're an entrepreneur, so I
so
want to know about this business.
yes indeed. I am so I own Keep Calm Massage Yoga and Fitness. My fitness category is like the big thing that I do, but everybody knows that I went to school for years for massage therapy while I was in New York City. That's where I'm originally from.
Uh,
I went
New
to
York in the house.
New York in the house for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm
I'm
a
a New
Queens
Yorker as
King.
well.
Queens King. Oh yeah, I know. I think we've followed each other for quite some time, so I knew you had to be from my New York time, not from my Atlanta 5 years. Because I made 5 years this past December. So
Okay.
um, yeah, so they told me I can claim Atlanta now, and I was like, I'll always claim New York.
That's
I'll never
right.
change that.
That's right.
So I started my journey for the business in New York City. I went to New York City College of Health Professions for massage therapy. I graduated in 2016.
Hmm.
Um, in 2015 or 2014, I got my black belt in uh, BKA karate. My little lady, what's up? You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hey, say hi, mama. Where you at? There you go. There she is. My little twin princess. Her juice. It's hot in here. We got the AC on, but this heat is still heat. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I got my black belt in the BKA Karate Institution in 2015, and I became a trainer an official trainer in 2014 under Your Body, Your Machine out on 47th and Lexington. So literally, it was like 1 year I hit this, the next year I hit this, and then the following year I hit this, and I literally graduated college with massage therapy, and maybe 2 weeks later, I moved to Atlanta. Um, it took me a while though to get my business situated in here, but I was officially a Georgia business came 2018, and I've been moving ever
Hmm.
since, moving on ever since.
That's what's up. I hear a lot of people move to Atlanta because to start their business. I mean, a lot of people started from the ground up, and you know, in Atlanta. So I'm like,
Yeah, this
but
is from what I heard. This was black business. People laugh at me all the time that ask me, so why did you choose Atlanta? Because I went to college in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia,
mhm.
and I was thinking about moving back there. And I tell people all the time, I moved to Atlanta because I like black people. Like I say it all the time. I love black people, my people, and if you can give me a group of us that are willing to work together and to build, it has been shown in the history that we can move mountains. So why
Mhm.
not put myself in a position where I can meet some like-minded people, some people that's ready to build, some people that's ready to work, and understand what it means to be a team. Where like in New York, it was so hard to find that where
Yeah,
everybody thinks that like we gotta be in competition.
it's
Friendly
about
competition, friendly competition is one thing, but you can work together and make
right,
money.
right. I understand what you're talking about with the with New York because it's like everyone's in competition with each other. It's a rat race. But
Yeah,
but in Atlanta, well, I don't know that much of Atlanta, but what you're telling me, um, people are willing to work together to build something better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yes,
that's how it should be, not just in Atlanta, but everywhere.
yeah,
Because it's we've been brainwashed for centuries to go against each other, whether it's the color of our skin, texture of our hair, our finances, anything. So if we
yeah,
have to break that cycle, we really need to like say enough is enough. We've been in a brand spanking new century for 22 years now. We need to come together as a people.
yeah. Yeah, and there's been moments in the history, like I said, that we've done it and they have broken us down. But I think that this is like probably the best time that we could do that, just simply because like everything is really on our side, other than the people who are against us. And the crazy part about it is sometimes the people who are against us are us. So, and that's probably the hardest part of it all. So, like I said, I moved to Atlanta to try to get away from so many of those people and closer to the people that are willing to go, oh, yeah, you do this? Well, come on in. Oh, I can use that. Oh, can you use me? Things like that. So yeah, now I'm here. Business is great. The yoga part of the business, because I didn't touch on that, but while I was in massage careers have 7 years on average that you work. And a lot of the time that is based upon the fact that you don't know how to actually work. Everybody thinks that massage is a bunch of hand stuff, and that's how you'll burn your hands out. So that's why they give us 7 years. So while I was in school, of course, over time they realized, well, if we can coordinate some things to help people with their posture, help people know how to navigate those movements even as they get further along in their career, then they can have a longer career. So there were three options: Tai Chi, which I believe is one of the best martial art forms; Qigong, which is something that I would love to look into more, but it's also an energy martial art form; and then there was yoga. So
Mhm.
I ended up taking yoga because I was also the karate guy outside of here. So in my head, I already took martial arts. So I
Mhm.
don't want to take, another one or another two. So how about I just do yoga? And it worked out for the best because I had a really bad injury that threw me off from everything.
Mhm.
And because of yoga, and I was in massage school, so we were getting massages, giving each other massages every week. I
Mhm.
went from eight months of healing time to 4.
All right.
So I tell people all the time, like, if you have a chance to take yoga, even if it's once a week, do it. Do it because it'll be very, very beneficial.
I thought about taking yoga. I keep telling myself, should I take yoga? I should take yoga. I should take yoga. But it's like I guess I have to be motivated to do the yoga because I'm sure that the yoga would definitely help me out. You
Yeah.
know. Um, but you did you model at one point?
So yes, I did. I was a model. I was modeling from like 2013 to 20, almost up until the time I left, up until like 2016. I was in New York and New Jersey Fashion Week back to back, 2014, 2015. Um, and I used to do, yeah, I used to do some things. Used to do some things. I haven't modeled in quite some time. I've had some photographers hit me up. God bless you, mama, and want to take pictures or whatnot. But to say that I am a model now, I can say that I might be returning. I might be returning
Oh,
this
watch out, Atlanta! Watch out,
this this
Atlanta!
su- this summer. I might be returning. I think I kind of humbled myself and got really like into the nitty gritty of what I was doing for a living. But I realized that not anything I do or anything anybody does really,
Mhm.
sex sells. So you have to be able to tap into who you are, how you look, and really personify your inner energy. And I got like this positive, boastful energy.
Mm.
and that was really portrayed when I was modeling. So here
Right.
I am now, not modeling, not doing anything, and nobody really sees my energy. So I was very even for here, like to be on camera, to be behind the film and video. That's where I live at. So I will be returning sometime this year for sure.
Oh, oh, okay. Okay. Like I said, watch out, Atlanta. Watch out, hot Atlanta.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's funny you say that. And yes, sex do sell. Unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunate, but sex does sell. I mean, we have the infamous OnlyFans, and people do their thing there. And of course, we have your erotic writers like myself. Well, I wrote one erotica, and I'm writing a second one. But
okay, okay,
it's just the way you present yourself. You don't have
yeah,
to be sleazy about it, because if you're sleazy, you're going to be attracting the wrong people, and that's
precisely.
cool.
Yeah, I see that happen to a lot of women and men. Actually,
Hmm.
to be honest, I I'm going to be taking a different approach. Of course, this coming it's going to be more like fitnessy, because that's what I do. I'm going to be staying in my lane. I think I was trying to get into a lane that honestly wasn't for me. A lot of runway stuff, and I take tall pictures, but ain't nothing about me six anything. I'm
Hmm.
definitely a 5'9". Give me a pair of boots, 5'10" heighted man. So
And
um, I'm there.
and you know what? That's okay. That is
Yeah.
okay. You don't have to be 6 feet plus to be a model. Just like with women, you don't have to be super tall. I mean, we have we have to keep models, because
Yeah.
we need to keep models. I mean, I'm 5'3", so for me to look at a petite model, it's just like, oh yes, we did it, we made it, And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with men. You don't have to. I mean, it shouldn't have to matter what height requirement you should be a model, because we're all beautiful, and we come in all shapes and sizes.
Yes. Precisely.
So do you have like a studio, or your, how do you go by it?
So everything I do is travel. I'm currently working for a company called Thai Body LLC. Make sure you guys go check that out. And What we do with the company is that we are contracted. We have contracted trainers that go to different luxury apartment complexes, and we train the residents for free. And the apartment management, they actually pay us. They pay for the contracts. The residents pay nothing. So I really go throughout Atlanta training different resident places. Um, and then also we have I have another at my company as itself. All my clients are everywhere. Sometimes I have classes that I teach at different studios that I'll invite people to come out to, and things of that nature. I'm really a travel guy in terms of my massage. I'm the house guy. You call me, I come to the house. You can stay in the house. I'll leave. You go upstairs. You go to sleep. You go to the shower. You go to sleep. You eat. You go to sleep. You don't have to, get up and get out and get back in the car. Because I realize that a lot of that throws you off. I thought about having a studio, which I believe it is coming. What'll probably happen is that it'll be a martial arts studio that I can do other things in, and because of that, I'll have, of course, studio space where I can tell people they can come and get massages from. But just being able to get a massage and then and literally go upstairs and go to sleep is probably the best thing for you, because once you're in this car sitting here strapped up, now everything I done did is getting undone. If you got an hour drive home, a 30-minute drive home,
Hmm.
I want you to be able to take that relaxation and take it right back to to the bedroom and sleep it off, or make it better. Go in a bath right afterwards, soak, get out, and then go right to sleep and really let what the work that was done settle in. Because a lot of people get massages and they're like, oh, that was great. And then you're right back into doing stuff and you don't ever really let the massage do what it was supposed to do.
Right. So in other words, there are some people who they just
So,
they just they just go back to their same routine without just taking advantage of this of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, in other words, you've already relaxed the person's muscles and
yeah,
helped them to relax. So it's like up to them to stay in that state, you know?
exactly.
Right. You can't just, get a massage and just be chill and then go back home and do the same thing you did before you got there. Because it defeats the purpose.
Yes, precisely. And I think some of us don't talk about the things. I'm one of those massage therapists that like you're gonna go ahead and get a massage from me, but then after that, I'm gonna let you know like, hey, you need to lay off this. You need to be stretching. So I can tell everybody something to do that is watching this. Make sure you stay hydrated and make sure stretching is at least a part of 10 to 30 minutes of your day on a daily because it'll help you, not so much me, because I'm gonna still have to do my work regardless, but it'll
Hmm.
help you just as an overall health. Even training wise, I don't really train people the way that a lot of people train them. Very one dimensional, which is a physical thing. Um, but there's like mental aspects to training. There's there's spiritual and emotional aspects to training. So because of that, you want to make sure you're touching base on all of that. And it's really the same thing with massage. When you know, massage is a very emotional. I've had people cry on my table. It's obviously the physical, with the touching of the body. Um, spiritual, I've had some people have like awakenings, or you can just feel energy and vibes during the massage, good and bad, but that's a whole nother conversation when she gets out the
Right.
car. Um,
Yeah.
and then we have and then of course you have that mental where you finally are able to put that mind at ease,
Mhm.
because I think a lot of us, even myself included, I suffer from insomnia. I don't know why, but I've been up since 2 a.m. all day this week, but I think it's because I have a lot on my mind and I don't
Exactly.
really have a time to really just go and breathe it out and then let it go, and then there's a scripture that says, let the worries of tomorrow be for tomorrow. Do not bring them into your day, your present day. But that's so hard to do on the day in and day out hustle and bustle of the average, not only American, but just the average person living in this world nowadays. Look at her in the camera.
Yeah. Oh.
She ready to get out. We're about to drop her off in about 2 minutes, honestly, actually. So
Oh, okay. Um,
yes, indeed.
about the slowing down, and I've said this on previous shows that when the pandemic hit, for me it was a blessing because it was a time for the world to just slow down. Everybody was just going here, going here, going here, going here, and it just moving at a fast pace. Nobody had the time to like slow down and chill. So unfortunately, a lot of people died from the pandemic. But those who survived the pandemic, um, it gave us the time to be with our families, to get to know ourselves, to um, to work on projects we haven't had time for. I know I finished my second book during the pandemic, and that was awesome. Um, so so yeah, it's sometimes you just need to just slow down and just
Yeah,
have time for you because if you make time for you, that doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you a selfish person. It just means that you're taking care of you before you take care of other people. Because if
yeah,
you don't take care of other people, I mean, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of somebody else? That's why I tell my kids, especially my son. He's in
exactly.
college right now, and he has these lofty dreams of being successful. I said, honey, you need to take care of yourself first before you take care of anybody else. You make sure you're good. And he's always saying, Mom, I'm gonna take care of you, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm like, I will
Yeah,
be okay. You need to take care of you.
yeah. Bye, Mama. You want to say bye? You want to say bye? Where you at? Where you at? Say bye.
Bye, darling. Oh,
Yeah, we did a little shopping today.
okay.
Here you go. Get your little fuzzy hair.
You wait till she hit college.
I know, right? Bye, big girl. Bye, baby girl. I'll call you later, okay? Mommy got all your stuff. Oh, sorry, her juice.
Her juice. Gotta have her juice.
All right. So daddy time is over. So we can get into some other stuff now.
All
But
right,
yeah,
Dad.
no, that was very true. The COVID was good and bad. And of course we all know that. For myself, it was very much a visual thing. I had to really tap into my creativity in terms of the business. I haven't worked out of a gym in a long time. The closest thing to a gym, I used to work at a kickboxing studio, and even them, they had changed up everything. So for me, it was very much like, okay, what do I do? How do I make things right? But in agreement to you, it was very much a time where everything slowed down, and it was exactly what was needed. I tell people all the time, like the COVID-19, I lost weight during COVID. I stopped stressing about stuff. I was tapped in. I was focused. My intentions were direct. There wasn't a lot of things in my way because there wasn't a lot of things to do no more. There was no going out. There was no spending money frivolously. You know, so everything was way more locked in, and it was great in that aspect. And I feel like there are so many people who didn't take advantage of that.
Mhm.
Instead, they decided to stress, um, and that stress does one of two things in terms of weight. You can either stress out and gain weight, or you can stress out and you lose weight.
Mhm.
It's really, and not for nothing, it sucks because you can't really change your genetic structure, but it's about a genetic code. So if genetically speaking, stress puts you in a surplus, then you got to try your best not to stress out. And if you're somebody who wants to hold that weight, but your genetics say when you stress, you lose weight, gotta find ways to de-stress. And from punching and kicking on the bag to getting massages to being in the gym working out and things of that nature, all of those things work, but you have to find your own thing, even in terms of now we're talking about outlets, to the point where like I started drawing, and a lot of people didn't even realize I could draw, but that's one of my god-given talents, something that I was really passionate about when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And I think COVID was a time for all of us to kind of tap back into those childlike things, because
Mhm.
not for nothing, those childlike things, all of them make money. You just got to figure out, how do you make money from that.
Exactly.
I used to like building and putting things together when I was a kid. In the morning, I do carpentry work. Why? Because it's what I love to do, and I don't have a problem getting up to go to work for that. Because of that, I get paid for that.
Mhm.
So I just started drawing as fun, and I posted a picture, and three people hit me up to draw them something for money. There's those careers and those gifts and talents that your parents might have told you to put on the back end, because what is that going to do? It,
Mhm.
it do stuff. It do stuff. It can really pay a bill. It can pay a bill. It can put some gas in your tank. A
Mhm.
$20 picture. I mean, in this Audi doesn't really do much, but it definitely is still some gas in my car. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So
Amen. And it's funny you say that because I was just thinking about because I'm Generation X. I don't know what generation you're from. I don't know if you're
I'm a
Generation X.
90s. I'm a 90s baby. 90, 92.
Okay,
I'll be I'll,
millennial.
I'll be
You're
30.
millennial.
I'm a millennial. I'll be 30 in a month from today.
Oh yeah, you're a millennial. Okay, so um, yeah, my younger siblings they're millennials too. In fact, my the youngest one, my brother, he was born in '97. So yeah,
Okay.
he's a
So
millennial.
you know.
Uh, so but anyway, I can remember me being 7 years old, and I told my parents, I said, "Mom, Dad, I want to go to college," and they looked at me like I just spoke a different language. I'm like, I'm serious. I want to go to college. They're like, okay. Sure enough, I went to college, and it's like, and some adults don't take child's dreams and child's ambitions seriously because it's like, oh, they're just kids. Their minds are fickle, or they'll forget about this, or they'll think about doing something else. But you got to look at a child's dream closer and take it a little bit more serious. Like I know with
Yeah.
my daughter, she loves to cook. She loves to cook, and when she was younger, I said, you know what? For her birthday, I'm gonna make her a little cookbook. So I thought I wrote down these different recipes and whatnot, kid friendly recipes.
Yeah.
And I got her a little apron, and I got her a chef's hat.
Feed the dream. Feed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Feed
But
it.
I didn't finish the notebook completely. I wrote a note saying, I started this. I don't. I began this book for you. It's up to you to complete this cookbook because this
Yeah.
is your cookbook. This is your dream. I
Yeah.
started it off for you, but it's up to you to finish it.
I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that for her.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I have a. It's so my daughter is 4, and we have a very very interesting relationship. Because of course, it sucks, but for the most of us in the millennial area, I didn't grow up with my father, so there wasn't that position to have a father figure or a man to be able to feed the dream. Um, I think that there's a reason why there's two parents. One says no, one says yes. There has to be there's going to have to be some type of compromise, and sometimes that's no, and it's no for good reason. Sometimes it's yes, and it's yes, and it ends up being bad. But all of that ends up being a balance at the end. And for my daughter, I'm very much the balance. And I say it like this: I remember being told when she was a baby, don't pick her up and hold her too much, because that is going to spoil her, and she'll be wanting to be picked up and all the time. And not everybody in the house could hold her forever. But I used to get upset because I was like, I worked out just for this. I didn't work out for nothing else. I knew she was coming, and I was like, I want to hold my daughter every day, all day, if I
Mhm,
want to, you
mhm,
know. And not for nothing, I stopped, but her mother started. So
mm,
where I felt like I was told to not spoil her, she ended up getting spoiled from the same person. So
mhm.
I take my charge as a father as being the balance. But then even within being that balance, I know that to this extent of my business, my mom was in full support of what I wanted to do in 2019. Now, mind you, I started my official business in 2018, but I
Right,
graduated school in 2016, and I
right.
started the journey in 2013. So you
Oh,
mean 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8, 7 years of my mom not supporting what I wanted to do.
yeah.
So I had to really find support from other places and find really support within myself.
Mhm,
Um, but I've known my father my whole life, even though, like I said, he wasn't there. But my father was in more support in what I wanted to do than my mom was. Uh, so it was very much like, you know what? I'm gonna be the supportive father. So when my daughter she wants to cook, and she want to play, restaurant. Oh, we playing restaurant. I got plenty of lives that are on my Instagram and on my Facebook of my daughter and I making breakfast. Because
Yeah.
she's another cooker.
Mhm.
We just had a family conversation with my grandmother and my mom about making sure you guys are writing down some of these recipes because we're down here in Atlanta, they're in New York. Jordan's not going to have the benefit of growing up and looking over grandma and looking over great grandma and seeing what they're doing like I did. Not
Mhm.
for nothing. If I wanted to be a chef, I could be, just off of the rip.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I give my daughter that. But if one day she wants to tap into, as we have realized, she is very very fast. Mr. Flash comes from me running track for 6 years. So
Okay.
if she wants to run track, then let's do it. And if for some reason she wants to stop, then we can stop.
Mhm.
It's an automatic that we're gonna have to learn karate because you're a cute little girl and daddy might not be there all the time. But I need
That's
you to know how
right.
to chop somebody real quick
That's
if you
right.
need to. So I it is so important and so powerful as a parent because you are charged with such a big task in your kids' lives. So if what you do with that task is so negative and unsupportive,
Mhm.
it's a hard uphill battle from there for them to feel comfortable within what they want to do for a living. Um, I ask my daughter every time we see it, so what you want to be? What you want to do? You don't know yet? That's fine. We'll figure it out. What you want to do
Mhm.
today, though? Because not for nothing, day by day, that's all it is. And the experience, the experience. I follow another great podcast called The Secrets to Success
Mhm.
with Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. And there's a guy on there named Jamal King, the 9 to 5 millionaire.
Mhm.
And he speaks about his kids experiencing things that most kids don't. Speaks about a barbershop happening, and his son was just asking the barber, do you have a basketball court at your house? He was like, no. He was like, oh, okay. Do you have a tennis court at your house? And the barber's like, no. He's like, oh, well, do you at least have a swimming pool at your house? And his barber was like, no. I mean, do you? And he's like, yeah, I got all of that stuff. And it's really, and it wasn't about being boastful or putting it all out there, but his son is able to talk on things that he was never able to speak on until he
Mhm.
got into his like mid 30s, and that's what I try to do for my daughter. Where in which her mom, I already knew her mom from back in the day wasn't a girl who was gonna be on the planes, so she's gonna drive everywhere realizing you can't drive everywhere.
Right.
See, I'm gonna take me a flight. So my daughter is 4, and we went on a flight. The first thing that happened is New Year's. We celebrated New Year's, and 3 weeks later, we was flying to New York
All right.
because there's an experience that needs to be had.
Mhm.
My mother's turning. We all got big birthdays, so I'm turning 30. My daughter turns 5, and then 3 days later, I know somebody help me. But 3 days later, my mother turns 55. So um, she wants to go to Cancun, and it happens to be, a weekend that I have my daughter, and I'm like, and if I can make it happen, my daughter will be international at the age of 5.
There you go.
I didn't, I didn't take my first trip until 2 years ago. I got back from Mexico, my first international trip, the day that Trump closed all the borders.
What?
I had legit just made it back. That when we got off the plane, he was talking about closing the borders that weekend.
That is some bullshit.
Yeah, so yeah, the experience. My daughter at 5 will be international where it took me 27 years. So you gotta support the kids, man. They literally they're legit the future. So if you don't support it, then you're not supporting your future. And if you
Exactly.
want to have a better one, you have to support them in their positive and respectfully. um, respectfully manage their negative views and the senses of doubt.
Mhm.
And that's what we're charged as parents. As you
Mhm.
said, they didn't they didn't ask to be here, so we
That's
can at
right.
least give them the best that we got
That's
and
right.
more.
That's right. And there, certain things you said that were very profound. And my 19-year-old, he still calls me. I mean, because just because you 18 and in the eyes of the law you're an adult doesn't mean you're an adult. That doesn't mean you don't you have all the answers because you don't.
Yeah,
Whenever my son calls, he's 19 years old, and he wants to be a rapper. In fact, I think he's been writing rhymes ever since he was in high school. And he finally, and like maybe 2 years ago, he came to me and said, "Mama, I want to be a rapper." Now, in my head, I'm screaming in horror, okay? Because I know what the music industry is like.
yeah,
But I'm like, but otherwise, I do support my son. And if he wants to be a rapper, go for it. I am your cheerleader. I am in your corner. I will support you. And if you fall, I will be there to catch you. Because the
yeah.
music industry is nothing nice. So I will be there to catch you. But it's just, but I'm like, woo! My son
It's
wants to be
scary. Yeah,
a
I get
rapper.
it. I get it for sure. No, but as I said, as I've said more recently than not, God has a way of moving in your life where in which He might want to be a rapper and a rapper on with this type of genre in this case, and grow up to be a Christian rapper that brings people closer to God because I definitely was told I was supposed to be somebody's preacher at 16, and boy, was I running from that, doing all types to make sure that I was not going to be a preacher. And swear, I'm so serious. I was doing everything. Like I did this. There's no way he can use me now. And I started fasting and reading my Bible early last year. Early last year. And I realized, as I told my mentor the other night, there's so many people that did not think that God would have been using them when you read the stories throughout the Bible because they were such not the perfect people where we all think that in order to be used by God, you gotta be on the best foot. And it's like, no, it's not the case at all.
He used David. He used David. He used Paul. Who else did he use? He used
Man,
well,
there's so many stories. There's so
yes.
many stories. I haven't even really broke the book yet. I think last year I failed in my reading a book a month. But I got to 6 books, so I did half the year. Where I am totally, God forgive me, I am 4 months behind currently. But I said come Easter because I'm fasting the day. I start fasting the day after Easter, so I was like, come Easter is when I'll start reading again. But my gift of me being this preacher, I realized my community might not be in a church. My community might not be behind somebody's pulpit, but I legit come in contact with people every day. I am successful in bringing people, getting people to feel comfortable and to open up. Like what I said, I've had some spiritual, emotional awakenings and openings on my massage table. Where not for nothing, this is where I do my preaching. I do my preaching while I'm training. I do my preaching after the massage or before the massage. I do my preaching, during a stretch class or a stretch seminar. Um, and people will look at me and be like, "Yo, I never even would have thought." And I'm like, "Yeah, who you telling? Because I was running for years,
Help. You ain't the
for
only
years."
one. You are not the only one. I know many people who ran from that came up that kind of calling. A lot of people. They're like, not me. I ain't no pastor. I ain't gonna be no preacher. Like, nah, not me, not me. And sure enough, God has a way of saying, you're gonna be that. You can run from it all you want to, but you're gonna be it
one way or another. One
one
way
way
or
or another.
another. It's, to be very honest, the way life is set up, it's so much better to stop resisting. Your life would be so much easier. And when I mean easier, a lot of people think that too, which is, they think, oh well, I'm a follower of Christ now. Everything finna just, it don't work like that. The closer you get, the harder things get. To be very honest,
Absolutely.
but it becomes easier to deal with the struggles and the trials and tribulations of life, where you just, you don't look at things the same. And somebody told me like, yo, you so calm about everything, even when things go wrong. I was like, yeah, because I spent years of being upset about things I couldn't change, even when I was a child. Now growing
Mm-hmm.
up with a father and being upset about that situation, um, being upset with my father for years, and then learning the other side of the story, and then being upset with my mother for a few years, and then realizing that they both did what they felt like was the best at the time. And for me to be upset with them now at 27, 28, 29, almost 30, ain't hurting neither one of them anymore. It's
True.
just hurting me
Right.
because they done lived their life. They done, did what they did. And,
Right.
as they say, you never really know, but when you get to the 50 mark, which both of my parents are now over, you got more behind you than you got in front of you. So they not finna
Mm-hmm.
stress over the fact that I'm upset, because then they've been stressed out their last 20, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, so you gotta really evaluate and put things on the scale of what's important and what's not important. Um, forgiving is definitely for you. It ain't for nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Things like that. So and really just tapping into that purpose, tapping into those passions and those gifts, because God didn't give them to you for no reason.
That's right.
But he also didn't give them to you so you can, for you to squander them or to do wrong with them. That's why
Exactly.
a lot of singers and rappers that were popping and they have voices and stuff. A lot of singers don't got their voice no more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of rappers, that's a personal conversation.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of rappers, they might have been supposed to be using the ideas and the wordplay, and they might have was supposed to be using that to bring people closer to him and shed light on how great he is. But they went a whole another route. Now they in jail. Now they dead. Now their career is gone. You really got to understand, like, what is this gift really for?
Mm-hmm.
And we get blindsided by the world and the world's view so easily. And I just vowed like I wasn't finna do that. Even back to bringing it all around back to my business and these massage guys that be out here, and I just be like, I'm sorry, I don't do those type of massages. I'm a
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah. I Yeah. It's and um well, like I said, you can't run from your destiny. Like I tell people, I didn't want to be a writer. It was never my intention to be a writer at all, ever. But God told me, you're gonna be a writer, and I'm gonna be your collaborator, and it's gonna be good. I'm like, okay. Well, I can't run from that. If God says it's gonna be, it's gonna be. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. you know, and as far as rap is concerned, I like I said, I'm Generation X. I'm an '80s baby, and I grew up during the time where rap is not what you hear now.
yeah,
Rap had a message. Rap was funny. I mean, the Fat Boys, um, Biz Markie, you know,
yeah. I ain't too far behind you. I know these names.
huh?
said I ain't too far behind you. I know these
No,
names.
I understand. I understand. And then there's Tupac. Now, a lot of people ain't going, might be shocked, but I prefer to listen to Tupac than Biggie any day. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I'm from New York, but I prefer to listen to Tupac. Yeah, that's right.
Tupac's from Brooklyn, so
Okay. Okay. Oh well.
so you still good. You still
Yeah. Okay.
good.
Great.
You
But
still good.
I just see Tupac as a poet and a warrior,
Yep.
and unfortunately, he died for the dumbest reasons. I mean, he had a beef for the dumbest reasons. This East Coast West Coast rivalry. It was just dumb. It was just dumb and pointless. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we lost Tupac and we lost Biggie. But like going back to the '80s, the pioneers who we've lost. I mean, we've lost a lot of the pioneers, unfortunately. But they did leave a imprint of what they've done, and we need to take account of what they've done and their imprint on our lives, on society. Um, I think that's what I think we should like take account of that.
No, for sure. And we will pray over it, and your son will be he will do exactly what he's supposed to do, in this world, because we all got a purpose. So we just gonna pray on it. I mean, as a parent of a child that is within the world's eyes, an adult,
Hmm.
it's kind of my mom used to say, when she finally started letting me go to the movies at 17, sheltered, sheltered much. But when she finally did, I just let go and let God.
Hmm.
I pray over you. Your grandmother pray over you. Can't protect you from everything. So
Right.
and I am. It sucks that in the Black community, I have to say that I'm happy, thankful, and proud to be a Black man that made it to 30. Because I'm claiming it, even though it's a month away. I'm still claiming it.
Praise
Um,
God.
you know, 30 with my own business. Um, About to run another business because I just had that conversation earlier today.
Amen.
And then dipping into other things and still being able to follow God, respect God, trust God, thank God. Um, so but you do have to let go and let God, even with some situations that happen.
Oh yeah, it was very difficult for me to. I mean, because my son, he's my firstborn. And he's my only son. And, I worry about him. I mean, I shouldn't worry about him. I'm concerned about him. I just like, Lord, just protect my son because he's 19. He is a black man in the South. So in other words, he has a freaking target on his back. And I
Yeah,
worry, and it's like, just protect my son. Just protect my son. you know.
and he will. He will. In ways that sometimes we don't understand. I look at my life in the last 5 years and everything I went through, and there was a moment where I lost my faith because I was just like, yo, there's no way that any of this makes sense. Like, I don't even deserve none of this. And as I look back at it now, with the new, I say this is the faith on steroids now. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, bro, you worry about that? No, no wonder why you ain't get the rest of that rest of them blessings. No wonder, because you worry about the wrong thing.
Hmm.
But I look back and I go, as much as I felt like that, my grandmother and my late grandfather, rest in peace, the only man that was in my life the whole time, they never had any doubt about me at all. My grandmother, not for nothing, didn't verbally ever tell me she was worried about me until my grandfather passed, which was like 3 years ago. And so finna be 30, she didn't worry about me for 26 years because she knew what was up. She had already talked to God about me, already heard about the plans probably, and was just like telling my mom, he'll be okay. Send him off to college. He'll be all right. He came back, all right. Send him away again. He'll be okay. And those type of things, I thank my grandparents for. I thank my grandmother for. And as I've gotten older and gotten, like I said, gotten closer to God, I've realized like you you did protect me because it could have been, you know, that situation that we just had, a couple minutes prior could be a lot worse. It could have, my beautiful daughter could have came from somebody a lot worse than
Mm-hmm.
that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, my situation as a whole. Um, I think about it and I'm like, I caught COVID. My mom caught COVID. My dad caught COVID, partially because of me, but I've apologized. You know, um, I got close people that have caught COVID, and we all still here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people who have caught COVID and ain't here no more.
Right.
So, you know, um, for me to look at things and feel like God hasn't protected me, He has. I feel like He's even protected the people who have lost their life. Because some people were really in pain, were agonizing, were going through traumas and stress to certain degrees, plotting on other things, suicide and stuff like that. You They got taken out by COVID, and that probably was the best thing because we don't know what was really going on, right? There's some people, of course, you just look at it and you're like they were so young, they were healthy, they were this, they were that, but we all as I heard yesterday, our days are numbered. And the
Yeah.
thing about it is you don't know what your number is.
Right.
So, you gotta do you, be the best you,
Mm-hmm.
impact your impact the world could be you impacting one kid, your son. You
Mm-hmm.
impact your son, and that's all you impact. You got 7 kids, you only impact your son for some reason. But your son impact his community. That community impact the state. That state impact the country impact the world. Your job was done. Your job was done. And all you had to do was do it for one person. That was your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And some of our purposes are that small, or I say it this way, that minute but that big.
Absolutely.
Girls, you know what I'm saying? The
Right.
nucleus in a cell is the smallest atom piece in the biological structure. But
Mm-hmm.
without that piece, there would not be anything else.
That's right. That's right.
So
Absolutely.
minute, but super important,
Mm-hmm.
super important. So yeah, and trust me, this all new. If you would have had this podcast a year ago, you wouldn't even have got none of this from me.
Ah.
I was not here. So I thank God every day for the changes that have been made and what He's done in my life. And I know that this ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I thank God for this car, but I know I got something better coming. I thank God for the relationship that I have with my child,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's gonna be better. I know it's gonna be better. I know the little couple of hours we spend today, the little couple of 2 weekends out of a month,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be better.
Yeah.
This is just what it is. This is what it is for right now. And with
Right.
the time you got, you do as much as you possibly can. You do as
Absolutely.
much as you possibly can. And
Because
that's how I do.
tomorrow
Go
is
ahead.
never promised.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's never not been the saying. That's never not been what's going on. So yeah, I'm here. I'm with it.
And again, very profound. Very profound. With the things you're saying are so profound, and I know that your daughter is going to be, because she has such a great dad, and your dad, and
Thank you.
you're such full of wisdom. You can pass that wisdom down to your daughter, and she, or hopefully she will apply that wisdom to her everyday life when she gets older. Um,
Yeah.
she'll know that my dad loves me. He gets on my nerves. I know he means well.
I'm big on that part. I
E-
get on everybody's nerves. It's a
Even though
part.
he won't let me do this, that, and the third, I know it's for my. I know it's for good reason.
Yeah, for sure,
But
for sure.
yeah, I do, and you're like that kind of dad that like interacts with your child. I unfortunately I didn't have that.
Nah, that was big,
Yeah.
as a son. I was a sport. I wasn't when I was a kid. I really wasn't all into sports, but probably around like um, right about the end of elementary school, I started getting into stuff, and I love my mom to death because she was there. I played baseball. I played basketball for a few years. I ran track for years. I played rugby in college. Um, I've
Okay.
done martial arts for 12 years. Um, and every step of the way, I always would see guys out here and they fathers taking them to practice, practicing with them, and I never had that.
Mhm.
But my mom used to throw the ball with me.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, she ain't know nothing about no basketball, so she wasn't a part of the basketball 2 years. But
Mhm.
when it was track time, she couldn't be at every race. But the races she was at, it was very known that my mom was a supporter. And with my child, that's how it's gonna be. I personally only have one kid. Her mother is married. There's a kid from that, and then she had a kid before we even met. So I know that Jordan's not going to get the attention that I can give her.
Mhm.
And it's not that it's a negative thing. It's just, well, that's my position. My position is to make sure that she feel like she got all the attention she needs and she deserves.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And like I said, if that's what I'm charged to be, then that's what it's gonna be. Ain't no kids nowhere near my future right now. So somebody gotta catch me again. Cause I'm too focused right now.
Well, when God sends you either your twin flame or your soulmate, that time will come, and you will know. You will know. You will know when she comes. You ain't. It's the thing. Here's the thing with, and this is from my experience with when two people come together. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But when it does work, and when it works like in that instant, it's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be with this person. And even though from the outside it's like you guys are so different, but for some reason you guys click. Stay with that connection. Don't worry about why is this person or this way, but I'm this way. They're this way, I'm this way. You know, focus on that connection. And when you build on that connection, the relationship is gonna get stronger. So when you meet that person, you're gonna know. It's gonna be there. That kismet is gonna be there. You be like, I don't know what's drawing me to this woman, but all I know is that I gotta be with her. I'm supposed to be with her.
Yeah. Well, we'll see when the time comes.
That's right. I mean, come on,
You might be talking. You might be talking about somebody right now. I'm just. I got my eyes on the prize. I think that I've,
and,
I've slacked too much.
and you know what's funny? Usually, when you got your eyes on the prize, that's when that person comes in.
Yeah.
When once
Trying to
that person,
distract you. Distractions.
or an enhancement. You never know.
Oh, you see now you using words. Okay. Let's get back to this podcast. They don't need to know about my life.
Okay, okay. All right, so
Oh
we
man.
about to wrap this up. So, are there any parting words you want to say to our audience, our lovely audience?
Oh well, yeah. Of course, I gotta make sure you guys follow me up. I have my business page on IG, which is Keep Calm MYF for massage, yoga, and fitness. So Keep Calm MYF. And then of course we got the fitness page that is full of like a bunch of classes, virtual classes that we do. That is KC underscore Flash Fitness. Super simple. You guys should lock into Thai Body. You can type that in everywhere; it will just pop up. He's been in business for like about 8 to 10 years now. So I'm about to be the new numero uno guy for the company. So we about to
Right
have
now.
that boost it up. We about to do that. Um, I'm out here in Atlanta, but I'm traveling. I'll be in LA this year. Of course, like I said, I'm out of Atlanta, but I've been in New York every single month this year. So massage wise, you can always tap in with me, personal training wise. Um, and we got a saying, two of them: proper preparation prevents poor performance. I need you guys to
I
understand
got that.
that.
I got that. I got that.
Yes, proper preparation prevents poor performance, and that's legit with anything. Um, I have December is the prep month for the test month in January, which is New Year's. That's how I deal with my fitness side of my business. There's never been a test that, of course, had substance behind it that you didn't have to study for. So when it comes for you to your body, most people fail out in February. In March, they start sizzling out because you never prepared yourself to get yourself in shape for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But January, you just hopped in like, I'm gonna take this 240 pounds and I'm gonna lose me my good 50 pounds before dot dot dot. But you ain't prep, you ain't stretched, you
Yep.
ain't get your water, your
Yep.
refrigerator ain't been cleaned out yet. You ain't even got sneakers for real to work out in. So how you finna lose this weight and get on board with everything if you ain't prepare yourself? So proper preparation prevents poor performance. And the name of the game for my company is it's your goals, but it's our journey. You'll never have to do anything by yourself because nobody did. Only God. Only
Amen.
God.
Amen.
So keep those things in mind. Again, my name is my real name. I'm starting to be that guy now, and I'm like, my daughter be like, "Daddy, Daddy, Flash," and I'll be like, "Oh, it's Daddy." Okay, do not get it twisted. All right, it's Daddy, but my name is Regine Rodriguez. But like I just said, and like everybody calls me, my name is Flash. You can holler at me. And that's really it. That's really it.
All right now. Okay, y'all. That concludes our visit in the world of Arthur Pearl. It's my world, and I'm so happy you stopped by. Have a good night.
Later.